Well, hi, I'm Joe Van Duren, and welcome to our virtues pick of the day. It's something we do every morning, and we're very happy that you've joined us. Or maybe you're getting a chance to see this as a video on our website at josephmichael.coach. So today, the virtue that came up for us today was modesty. And so let's just kind of read the description of it, and let's look at how we can practice that today and how we might think about it. So, modesty is a sense of quiet confidence and self respect which allows us to enjoy our accomplishments without inflating our self importance. We have no need to brag or attract attention. We know we are worthy just as we are. We have a sense of respectful privacy about our bodies. We have reasonable expectations of ourselves. We resist the drive to overdo. Modesty allows us to accept praise with gratitude. We have no need to raise ourselves above others. We share the glory. We are grateful for the gifts we have, and we honor the gifts that others have too. So, as I read this today, I was thinking about it from maybe from a different kind of point of view. And maybe you've never been in this situation or not, but have you ever given advice to somebody? You know, they've come to you and they've said, you know, tell me what you would do, or give me some advice about this, or give me some advice about that. And so you give them your best wisdom, because we all think that we know the right answers most of the time, right? Especially when it's our kids coming to us. So we give them the answer that we have and the advice that we have, and then they don't listen to it. And they go and they do something completely different. Without modesty, you might react to the situation like that, similar to the way I've acted about it. I can get pretty upset about that. Why'd you ask me if you weren't going to follow my advice? What's the point of that? Well, modesty says that we are grateful for the gifts that we have. We're grateful for the knowledge, the wisdom, the the insights that we might have. But we also need to honor the gifts that others have too. We need to honor their right to make their own choices. We need to honor their rights to be who they are. And it could be that, they just, the advice that we gave them just didn't fit where they were right now, even though we thought it would be great. So, as I was thinking about that this morning, I have an opportunity this afternoon, to teach a class. And almost every time in a class that comes up, there's always questions that come up where they're looking for, some advice or something from the instructor. And I just want to remember today that all I can do is do the education part. And this is what we found. And this is what's worked for some people. And this is what's worked for others. And then be, not so into myself, I guess, that I don't allow them to make their own choices, and for me not to be attached to that outcome. And so that's, modesty really does require that kind of detachment. So when I think about this, I'm really thinking about, how can I really maintain my confidence in whatever it is? And how can I use that as an opportunity to learn something? Maybe they have a different way of looking at it, or maybe there's a reason that they're looking at something the way that they are. And understanding that and having some empathy for it will most likely be very helpful in the future when something else comes up that's in a similar vein. So when we think about modesty and teaching our children, obviously we may want to start with the physical things and having respect for their body, and having respect, and being modest in ways that are more physical. But we also want to help them to appreciate that they don't need to brag, exaggerate, to make things bigger than they really are. If you've ever been in a preschool or elementary school. Well, probably in high school too. But there's almost always, some of the children there that will talk about things that, and they really make them big. There was a boy that always bragged about his parents' large pool in their backyard, and how much fun it was and whatnot. And the fact was that his parents didn't have a pool in their backyard. So I don't know exactly where that came from, but he was certainly inflating the obvious. So we want to help our children to have respect for themselves and for who they are and for the gifts that they have, but then also to be able to respect others and their gifts. And that comes with just demonstrating it to them. It helps them to see us not over exaggerate what we have, especially if we're in a situation where we have some means that are above many others in the community. I've known some wonderful people that were had just huge amounts of money and made very good money. They lived in a very big house, but when you met them out on the street, when you met them someplace, there was never any sign of that. They didn't overdo it. They didn't brag about it. They didn't make you would never know what their financial or other means were. And so, I have so much respect for that, and it's something that we want to help our children to grow and develop within themselves. I was just thinking that maybe one way that they can do that too, that we can help them with that, is to be sure that we open up the opportunities for them to serve others. And somehow or another, when we're serving others, we also gain a measure of gratitude for what we have and for the gifts that we have. But we also get to know people. And once you get to know people, you figure out pretty quickly that the social status, the financial status, whatever other statuses there might be, that none of them really matter as much as the person and their personality and who they are as an individual. And so, we don't need to raise ourselves above others. We can provide our gifts. We can share with others and do so without bragging. So those are my thoughts today about modesty. Today I'm going to be focusing on that, especially during my class that I'm teaching this afternoon. And so until tomorrow morning, keep practicing the 4 C's of successful families, and that is clarity, communication, consistency, and community. So until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.